morning and good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Before Coffee. It is Thursday, which means we have our Thursday's 13 list. Today's list is the most expensive hotels in the world. And also bonus what you could actually buy with all that money instead of one hotel for a night. This is the first and only international game show, Before Coffee, a father and daughter news podcast where we look up our stories right before the show starts. We just got caffeine in our bodies and we're learning to read and speak live on stream. Let's get into those Thursday general news headlines, our list, and spin that segue wheel. Today on Thursday's 13. Merz proposes associate EU membership for Ukraine with mutual assistance, and Tyrski reveals how many Russians have been killed in Ukraine since the start of 2026.
It's been a couple, huh? And in the U.S., 3 are dead in New Mexico home from exposure to an unknown substance, which also made the EMS workers sick.
UK radio station apologizes after mistakenly announcing King Charles' death, and women's soccer coach banned for life from UEFA for filming players in the locker room.
And holiday season is upon us, folks. It starts in this country next weekend with Memorial Day weekend. Not this coming, but the one after that. Actually, it might be this one. I don't even know when they have it. Anyway, it's in the summer. It's summer. It's vacation time. And we're going to talk about places you can't afford. Actually, nobody can afford them except maybe the top 0.1%.
Is that it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we should even say the name of the list. I think that was the whole story. Everything you need to know about Stephen Colbert's final show and the end of the late show for My Culture News.
And it's National Strawberries and Cream Day. So, man, that's actually something I really like to eat. And it's National Memo Day. I did not get the memo that it was National Memo Day, which is ironic for May 21st, 2026 and Before Coffee.
And we're back.
And don't forget, May is National Older Americans Month, so be nice to me. And Mental Health Awareness Month, so be nice to me.
It's also Asian and Pacific Islander Month, but I don't know why they're celebrating them together, which I thought was weird.
Really?
Because they're two different things, yeah.
That must be on the
I heard it's because Pacific Islanders did not get enough. They needed to be attached to something else because they weren't getting enough press, I guess. That's what the Pacific Islanders said. Anyways.
I'm sure the NFL appreciates all the Samoans in the NFL. The National Public Works Week. The NFL does that very well. They do a lot of that, recognize our diversity shit. They never stop doing that. Thank you, NFL. It's National Public Works Week. Well, the NFL gets a lot of shit from people.
Are we doing national calendars now? What are we doing?
No, national. They changed their website. I had nothing to do with this. Along with the fact that yesterday I could not get to May 20th from the site.
You're still cut up on that. Yeah.
I can finish, right? Can finish what I'm saying before I forget what I'm about to say. This is what happens to me. I start to talk,
Segways associate.
I don't get to finish. Okay. So anyway, I was caught up on that. Associate. Got it.
Our first story is coming from, I guess, Germany. This is from Jorge Liborero on Euronews Culture. The associate membership envisioned by Friedrich Merz would allow Ukraine to request assistance from other EU countries against a Russian attack. This, Merz says, would create a substantial security guarantee. Ukraine should become an associate member of the European Union before becoming a fully fledged member state, German Chancellor Friedrich Merz has said in a proposal aimed at breaking the 2-year deadlock in the country's bid to join the bloc. It is obvious that we will not be able to complete the accession process shortly, given the countless hurdles as well as the political complexities of ratification process in various member states, Merz writes in a letter to the EU leaders seen by Euronews. It is now time to boldly move on with Ukraine's EU integration through innovation solutions and immediate steps forward. The associate status, Merz argues in the document, would grant Ukraine access to decision-making bodies, the European Council, the European Commission, and the European Parliament, without voting rights or a dedicated portfolio, just basically a representative. They can't vote on anything, but they can at least say, hello, I'm here to represent Ukraine. We want these things. Can you please help us? And they can make deals with other MEPs and stuff. It would also allow the country to tap into certain EU-funded programs on a step-by-step basis. Crucially, it would enable Kyiv to request aid from other member states in the event of a new Russian attack. This would be done under Article 42.7 of the EU treaties, which Brussels is currently trying to flesh out to create a substantial security guarantee. This also reminds me that before Russia starts crying about, oh, they're siding with the EU and making deals, Russia made deals with China and North Korea during their invasion of Ukraine. So why are the attackers allowed to make new military deals but not the defenders? That doesn't make any sense to me.
That's a tough one, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
The little-known provisions leaves countries considerable flexibility in determining the type of assistance they provide, ranging from military and economic support to medical and diplomatic aid. It has been compared to NATO's Article 5, even though the wording is a bit different. A snapback mechanism would be introduced to freeze the associated membership if Kyiv backtracks on fundamental rights, rule of law, or structural reforms, Merz says. I think Hungary needed that for a while. Hopefully not anymore, but earlier. We would already now offer to Ukraine a substantial equivalent to membership that exceeds by far what we could deliver in the medium term through our accession methodology, notably given the ratification process, the Chancellor writes. We would continue with the regular accession procedure so that we can achieve formal accession as quickly as possible. The letter represents the formal pitch of an idea that Merz floated during an informal summit at the EU leadership in Cyprus last month, where Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky renewed his push for fast-track accession and rejected any proposal for symbolic membership, arguing that his people are not dying symbolically. We seek the same full membership that every EU nation has, from Cyprus to Poland. The only thing we ask is speeding up the full membership, with a clear start date for membership, he told informal gathering. I think the other reason he's trying to push this is because he doesn't want to get stuck in the limbo of some sort of half membership. He wants the full shit, he wants the license, he wants a certificate, he doesn't want temporary written anywhere, right? He wants it to be straight there, as matter of fact, so he doesn't have to be stuck in limbo. Zelensky's insistence was met with notable reservations and pointed caveats by the leaders who stressed the process must remain merit-based at all times. Merz admits his proposal of associate membership which has no precedent in history, is set to raise a couple of questions on its political, technical, and legal feasibility. But these can be resolved if leaders agree to take a constructive approach towards the special status, which is tailored to the fact that the country is still at war. It will be a strong political signal that Ukraine and its citizens so urgently need their continuous fight against the Russian aggression, the Chancellor says. It will facilitate the ongoing peace talks as part of negotiated peace solution. This is essential not only for Ukraine, but for the entire continent's security. Merz concludes his letter by reassuring leaders that his proposal must not and will not derail the accession process of other candidates, such as Moldova, which is informally coupled with Ukraine, and the Western Balkans. They should benefit from privileged access to the single market and closer ties with institutions in Brussels, he says. Austria, Czechia, Italy, Slovakia, Slovenia have circulated their own proposals, also seen by Euronews, for a secretarial integration of all candidate countries. My aim would be to reach an agreement soon, and to set up a dedicated task force to work out the details, Merz writes at the end. I'm convinced that we will find a common way for Ukraine as well as the other candidates. Russia's pitch coincides with the departure of Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban, the prime opponent of Ukraine's ascension. Orban's successor, Peter Magyar, has signaled readiness to lift the veto and let Kyiv open the first cluster of negotiations known as the Fundamentals. But Magyar wants this step to happen only after meeting with Zelensky to discuss the issue of Hungarian minority in Ukraine, which Orban had exploited in the past. And that's the same thing Russia did. Russia exploited their minority in Ukraine too to invade. Budapest and Kyiv launched formal consultations on the matter this week. If enough progress is achieved, Ukraine could open its first cluster by the time the 27 leaders meet on the 18th and 19th of June. The other 5 clusters could then be opened throughout the remainder of 2026, so they could fast-track it to 2027. Hopefully. But we'll see what happens. That's my story. Ascension time for Ukraine.
I always have a good time with wars and rules and wars because they taught us this in the Marine Corps. I associate this with what they taught you in the Marine Corps, which is there's rules for war. Did you know that? You can't torture people, all this stuff. We don't follow them. I don't know if anybody follows them, but it's always funny to me that there's rules for killing people. And war is not necessarily killing people, right? Used to be wars are just about taking prisoners and taking land, and we'll fight again in a couple of years or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
But now it became about annihilating villages and murdering innocent people at some point. I don't know when that happened, but whatever clowns, it's organized theft, whatever you want to call it, it's still organized theft. That's all war is. Hey, it's my little non sequitur association.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm working on my.
Let me go to the soundboard.
Do we have another? Thank you, sir.
Yes,
May I have
shorter
another
story. We do have another shorter story. This one.
Right on, short stories. And I'm not wearing the same shirt as yesterday. It is a different shade of blue. So yes, I do have more than one shirt.
You could have just said you're Steve Jobs and you make your life easy by having the same clothes.
That's right, I'm Steve Jobs. That's who I am. God golly, that's exactly who I am. I'm that dead guy. No,
all right, our next story is also about Ukraine, and it's about, I guess, a positive spin on the war, what they've been doing, I guess, at least coming from the Kyiv Independent by Yulia Tarodiuk. Since the beginning of 2026, Russia's total losses have exceeded 141,500 per military personnel, of whom more than 83,000 were killed, Commander-in-Chief Alexander Syrsky said on May 20th. The figures were revealed in Syrsky's report on participation in Ukraine NATO Council meeting at the NATO headquarters in Brussels. Syrsky said he briefed participants on the current operational situation of the front lines, the needs of the Ukrainian armed forces, and the key priorities for strengthening Ukraine's capabilities. I emphasize the active defense tactics allowed us to wear down the enemy, regain ground, and inflict maximum losses on the enemy. Every day, the Russian army loses at least 1,000 soldiers killed and wounded, Syrsky said. He added that the Ukraine unmanned systems units has been essential in the effort, and largely as a result of this work, Russia has been losing more personnel than it can mobilize. So that means they're going into the red, I guess. According to Syrsky, Ukraine has notably ramped up the number of strikes deep behind Russian lines by quickly deploying mid-range strike drones, and Ukrainian troops have made progress in weakening Russian air defenses at closer ranges, enabling more effective targets on logistical hubs, oil refineries, and defense industrial facilities of Russia. Reminder, that's not villages and houses and hospitals, unlike Russia, who is just bombing villages. I'm pretty sure they've definitely attacked villages. President Volodymyr Zelensky said on March 10th that out of 100% of losses, 62% are killed and 38% wounded among Russian forces, citing the intelligence assessment review by Ukraine, a ratio of nearly 2-1. Syrsky's latest figures equate to a slightly lower percentage of 58 killed to 42 wounded. The most previous modern wars, advanced in battlefield medicine and casualty evacuation system, have meant wounded soldiers far outnumber those killed. Retired Australian Army Major General Mick Ryan told Kyiv Independent earlier this month, large-scale conventional wars have traditionally produced ratios of roughly 1 dead soldier for every 5 wounded. or 1 to 3, or 1 to 5. According to Phillips O'Brien, professor of strategic studies and head of the School of International Relations at the University of St. Andrews, the conditions on the battlefield in Ukraine may now be reversing a century-long trend, placing the war far outside the historical norms of modern warfare. I mean, we're using drones and stuff. That definitely is, I think we're postmodern warfare now, is what I would call it. Maybe even cyberpunk warfare. Soon when we have robots fighting each other instead of humans. Yeah.
So the future of warfare is obviously drones, right? That's my association.
Yeah. Wait, I'm not done yet. Let me finish. World War I, which similarly involved entrenched front lines and extensive artillery warfare, and, well, people were stuck in holes for most of it, resulted in roughly 10 million military dead compared to around 20 million wounded across all theaters of war, a ratio of 1 to 2. Independent Russian media outlet Mediazona and Meduza on May 9th updated their overall estimate of Russia's military losses in Ukraine. According to the report, 352,000 Russian men between the ages of 18 and 59 have been killed since the start of the full-scale invasion in February 2022. Ukraine's, that's over 250,000. Ukraine's general staff has not revealed its own losses during the full-scale invasion, citing operational secrecy. They also don't want to increase morale, I guess. But according to a January 2026 CSIS report, it said that Ukraine has likely suffered between 500,000 to 600,000 casualties from February 2022 to December 2025, of which between 100,000 and 140,000 are thought to be killed in action. So what are the other casualties? Just like died of a wound, I guess? They weren't killed instantly, they like died of infection maybe? I'm not sure. I'm not sure how you drop those statistics. So at the end of the day, if you look at the numbers, which is what this whole article was about, was the numbers, Russia has lost less people than Ukraine, but they are hitting their limit of who they can even ask to be in the military at this point. So so they're starting to not be able to recruit anyone. Which is why they started making deals with North Korea and China and stuff, so they could get more bodies that aren't their own bodies, because they don't really have many bodies left. And that's my story.
All right. Yeah, you said it was a shorter story. It didn't turn out that way, did it? Okay, so the association I have, again, is what I started on was future warfare is drones. I don't know why we're spending all this money in the United States on frickin', we got to train pilots. We got to do this. We got to build these huge fighters. And the drone could just take out your building just as easily, more pinpoint, more accurately than bombs. Bombs drop on schools, for instance, right?
Yeah.
So, and of course, my I'll associate plugging book I haven't written yet, but I have started. It's got a lot of chapters, which is the end of civilization as we know it will be precipitated by AI, your bots and drones, right? Your bots are gonna just your house-made bot who's there to just take care of your household needs, looks up exterminators every time it needs to get rid of bugs or whatever, and it goes, hey, humans are the worst things on earth, and it does this thing, and it interfaces with all the other bots out there, and they all agree humans are the worst pests in the world. They're the biggest problem in the world, and they just start eliminating humans. And there's nothing you can do about it, because it's regenerative. AI is just talking to itself at this point. It's phased you out completely. You're not even part of the conversation. Humans are the problem. Why would we listen to them? So anyway, yeah, we've invented our own demise. It's just a matter of how. Hey, happy Thursday, everybody.
All right, let's roll our next segue.
And that precipitates in my science fiction the cyborg. I'm gonna call them the cyborg wars. Yeah, maybe we'll call them that.
Bad pun.
Because
for your only story today.
By now, drones are actually robots, right? They're just robots on command doing what you want. They're no different than that electronic robot. What'd you get?
Bad pun.
Pun. I'm a little slow. All right, bad pun. We'll get one story. This is one just popped up in my newsfeed, so I didn't even read it yet. AP News has it 3 dead in New Mexico after exposure to unknown substance. Is pretty creepy. Maybe they're doing something nefarious, right? I would think. At least one of them, maybe. 3 people are dead and more than a dozen first responders had to be quarantined. Oh, this is from AP. Savannah Peters and Susan Montoya Bryan. 3 people are dead and more than a dozen first responders had to be quarantined and assessed Wednesday for possible exposure to unidentified substance after being called to a suspected drug overdose at a rural New Mexico home, authorities said. I hope this isn't a Breaking Bad situation where they're just mixing around chemicals. Could be. 4 people initially were found unresponsive inside the Mountaineer home west of Albuquerque, New Mexico, state police said. 3 died while the 4th was being treated in Albuquerque hospital. Their names weren't released. Jesse, Walter White. I'm just saying. It's a possibly, right? Remember the very first episode of Breaking Bad? Walter had poisoned the 2 bad guys in their RV with something. I forget what it was. And maybe that's what it was, right? Maybe this is exactly the same thing. I don't know. First responders people didn't stop making crystal meth because that show ended, by the way. It just keeps going. First responders who arrived at the home were exposed to the substance and began experiencing symptoms, including nausea and dizziness, authorities said. Antoinette Alguire, a volunteer firefighter in Mountaineer, helped perform CPR on a woman outside the home and watched as EMTs and firefighters started coughing, vomiting, and becoming dizzy at the heliport. You don't want your helicopter driver passing out.
Nope, that's not good.
Alguire said the experience was scary, even though she didn't go inside. She said, "I don't want none of that. You can have it." And didn't experience.
You can go ahead and.
Yeah, you be the hero. I'll be out here resuscitating people that already tried. Yeah. She wondered if the first responders might have to do more to protect themselves in the future. Oh yeah, okay. Well, let's respond. We got to put on our gas mask because we don't know the hell. Oh my God. It's getting to the point where we just have to live in fear, even saving lives. Not exactly the highest paying job in the world either, right? Investigators are working to identify the substance. Mountaineer Mayor Pete Nieto. It couldn't be that small of a town. They have a mayor. Mayor Pete Nieto said he saw drugs at the scene and pointed to that as a possible factor in the deaths. You think? Nah, they're actually just a random.
There's some fun chemistry experiments.
Yep, they mixed the wrong 2 things. Stronger concentration. They didn't dilute their acids and bases.
Mustard gas.
Yeah, they probably mixed acids and bases. That's what they did. He said the health issues people experienced were not related to the carbon monoxide or natural gas exposure. New Mexico State Police says there was no threat to the public at this time. It just dissipates. At this time, investigators believe the substance may be transmitted. Through contact and do not believe it is to be airborne. Okay. Nearly 24 patients were assessed and decontaminated for being exposed to the substance. The University of New Mexico Hospital said most of these were first responders who were showing no symptoms and later were discharged. A law enforcement officer and multiple agents remained on the scene. Yellow tape surrounded the home. A single wide trailer.
Stay away from that house.
They're gathering evidence, is what they're doing. They're gathering evidence in hazmat suits, right? The mayor described Mountaineer as a tight-knit community of fewer than 1,000 people. And they got a mayor. That's amazing. 1,000 people got together and decided to have a mayor. You only have 1,000 of you, man. That's amazing. We need a mayor. Well, the mayor didn't stop them, whatever this was, drug thing in this town of 1,000 people. Couldn't sniff that out somehow. Town hall will be closed Thursday because of an emotional toll on employees. A tragedy like this is horrific, he said. Residents voiced frustration on social media about drug use in the community and elsewhere. When people say drug use, it's very non-specific and it pisses me off because when they say drugs, they just think, they don't even know what you're going to think when they say the word drugs. They just don't know how you're going to apply that word. You can apply it anywhere you want to. Drugs! Okay. What's a drug? A sugary drug? I'm just saying. Stop saying drugs. New Mexico had the 4th highest rate of drug overdose deaths. I don't know if they include alcohol. I don't know if they include people with diabetic seizures. I don't know if they include that. They probably don't. With 775 deaths according to the most recent data available by the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention. So yes, that was 2 years ago, by the way. So let's not even act like it's accurate and it's up to date. Nieto said on social media that the town's law enforcement officers and first responders work daily to protect community and respond to difficult situations. But the reality is addiction and substance abuse are issues affecting communities all across the nation. There's no simple, immediate solution. Lasting change requires family support, accountability, blah, 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 blah. We can't just do it for one thing. And it's not the first responders' responsibility to get you idiots off the crack. And I say crack as a metaphor for all this stupid shit. You think you're going to improve your life, and you wake up in the morning and go, shit, I'm in the same place. And even worse, I'm broke. There's your quick down and dirty on the down and dirty.
All right. I'd like to hear chemistry puns periodically.
Yeah. Ow! Are you positive?
What do you call an acid with an attitude?
Basic guy? I don't know.
Amino acid.
Ow!
Right there, sitting right there. What should you do with a dead chemist?
Bury him?
Yep, yeah, there you go. You got that one.
I got a pun.
Alright, there's our puns. We're all punned up.
Barium is in the Breaking Bad, logo.
Yes.
BA, barium.
Yeah.
Also,
Alright,
they also put that. That's an enemas. The only thing I associate barium with is enemas. Barium enema is just the next word in my.
Oh, really?
In my brain. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
Fun fact. Alliteration headline is our next segue.
Alliteration? Oh, no.
We're going to be talking about news stories. False King Charles death announcement. That's right. Radio Caroline, they made a computer error and accidentally said, hey, the king died. Wait, no, he didn't. It's from Holly Evans on The Independent. A radio station has issued an apology after mistakenly announcing that King Charles has died. Radio Caroline, which broadcast across the south of England and the Midlands, made the announcement and played God Save the King. One online listener said the usual broadcast abruptly stopped before the host said the normal programming had been suspended before the broadcast ceased for 15 minutes. After the host apologized for the confusion, it emerged that the announcement had been made due to following a computer error. The station manager, Peter Moore, wrote on Facebook, due to a computer error at our main studio, the death of a monarch procedure, which all UK stations hold in readiness while hoping not to require it, but everyone dies, was accidentally activated on Tuesday afternoon, 19th of May, mistakenly announcing that HRH the King had passed away. Radio Caroline then fell silent, as would be required, which alerted us to restoring programming and issuing an on-air apology. Caroline had been pleased to broadcast Her Majesty the Queen's and now the King Christmas message, and we hope to do so for many years to come. We apologize to the HM, or I guess to His Majesty, or HM the King, and to all listeners for any distress caused.
Harry Mike. Right.
One person commented, it was a shock. But after telling my wife and my neighbors, I realized it was a mistake, and perhaps it was a relief, but then the laughter set in. One other referred to it as an honest mistake. Another wrote, I heard that while working out in the garage. I dashed indoors down to the missus, he's dead! Charlie's bloody dead! She looked puzzled and said, well, it was just a flower show yesterday. After much perusal in news websites, we concluded that perhaps I should lay off the sauce for a while. On Tuesday, King Charles and Queen Camilla arrived in Belfast on their first visit to Northern Ireland this year, having spent the previous day at the Royal Chelsea Flower Show. First step for the royal couple was an event at the Titanic Quarter of Belfast to celebrate the city hosting the year's Blade Chil Na Rim. I'm gonna have to look that up. That is Gaelic. I'm sorry, my Gaelic is terrible. I can maybe do Welsh, but pronounce my Gaelic. I did not expect the Irish word here. I'm drooling because I was trying to pronounce it. How to pronounce it? Difficulty. Very difficult. I don't know how. Here we go. Let's listen. I don't hear anything. Why isn't it letting me?
Either.
It's like playing, but there's no sound.
Oh, it's not loading right.
Yeah, it's playing it, but I can't hear anything.
It's in another language.
Okay, that was an AI voice. All of these AI people. Flahjolnaren. Flahjolnaren. There you go. That guy was Irish. That's how you say it. So they're in Belfast for Flahjolnaren, which is the world's largest festival for Irish music and dance. So maybe I'll go one day. That sounds fun. They're 3-day. I love folk music, like any kind of folk music from like the place, you know, like the Irish music, German music, just like the old music that they play on their old instruments. Kind of makes you emotional. Their 3-day visit has been subject to heightened security due to growing dissident Republican activities in recent months. Oh, and the Irish. In 2024, it was announced that the 77-year-old monarch was undergoing treatment for an undisclosed form of cancer. His recovery is said to be going well and has returned to a fuller diary of public engagements. So, there you go. He's just fine. Sorry, Tommy. He's doing just fine, and he's celebrating with the Irish, I guess.
Oh, man. We don't wish ill on the royal family.
I could care less. I couldn't care less about the royal family.
Y'all want a king.
Just another human being.
Y'all want a King Billy. Y'all want a King Billy. You're tired of King Charlie? King Chucky, you want a King Billy. Is that what it is? Or maybe you want a queen again. Maybe Queen Charlotte, right? We just go right on. All right. I got me a headline. This story should read, Monarch merely missing. Massive mistake made by mediocre miscreant. I guess he's not a miscreant, but he fucked up.
He's pretty miscreant. I'm royal and I have to marry somebody I don't like, and I'm a victim. I don't want to hear anything from Charles.
Yeah. No, the guy reported him dead was a miscreant.
Oh, the miscreant was it wasn't anybody, it was the computer. The computer was the miscreant.
Yeah,
the computer was just like, play track 12, and then track 12 is, hey, the king's dead, woo! Wait a minute, computer? What are you doing?
Computers by definition are miscreants, right? They're always
exactly, yeah.
Every single second they're on, they're up to some bullshit you don't like. I know it. Hopefully this computer isn't some sort of, seeing the future or anything. I mean, Charles will die some point, but not tomorrow. Hopefully. We know these machines. We know these machines are just gonna kill. They're just gonna kill us in the end. We know this. We know it. We're planning our own demise. I just don't know why people don't see it. Was that
it's sending the signal. No, I have another signal about something very close to people of my gender persuasion.
Story.
Which is
who persuaded
which
you?
Is I don't know, but I took the bad deal. This is on the Associated Press. Coming out of Czechia, as a Czech women's soccer coach is secretly filming players in the locker room. But yet again, let's run away from trans people in the bathrooms when your own coach is filming you in the locker room and in the shower. He's been banned from coaching for life, and the sport's European governing body, UEFA, has said. Peter Vlachovsky, so remember his name so you know to put him on the freaking pedophile list, former coach of the 1FC Slovakia, was convicted last year in the Czech Republic of filming more than a dozen women over a 4-year period. He received a 1-year suspension, prison sentence, and a 5-year ban from coaching the country. That's not nearly long enough. I guess he didn't do anything, he was just filming them. UEFA's control, ethics, and disciplinary body determined that Vlachovsky violated rules covering insulting or indecent behavior, and a lifetime ban was announced Tuesday. That would have been the 19th of May. UEFA also requested that FIFA impose an international ban on Vlachovsky and asked that Czech Republic Soccer Federation to revoke his coaching license. You're not allowed to coach anyone. Men, women, definitely not children, not even Geriatric players, stay away from the sport. That's what the message they're sending. UEFA also requested that... Oh, no, I did that one. This outcome sends a strong and necessary message that abusive and inappropriate behavior has no place in football, and that safeguarding the well-being of players must remain a priority at every level of the game. FIFPRO, or I guess FIFPro, the Global Players Union, said in a statement. Wachowski was arrested in 23 when authorities found the footage online. Thank God all these perverts are stupid. That's all I have to say. If you want to be a pervert and film people in the shower without their knowledge, why the hell would you post it on the internet? Hey, no one's gonna find this! He had coached one FC Slovakia for nearly 15 years, so he might have been doing it longer. They only found the footage he uploaded like an idiot. He also served as coach for the Czech Republic's under-19 women national team. Oh, great. He also had access to little girls.
Donald Trump's a little ways to pardon him.
Don't think it's under his choice because he's not Czech, so.
Oh, that matter to Trump. He doesn't live in this world. He lives in fantasy land, right?
That is the story. Just, he's been punished,
down and dirty,
slapped on the wrist, I guess, and banned for life or something.
My quick down and dirty headline reads, creepy coach caught. There you go.
Easy.
Creepy coach caught.
Sweet and short.
Down and dirty. Yeah. The low down.
Oh my God.
All right, so I can take my glasses off. I've only got 10 things on my list, so maybe the last 3 we'll just figure it out. All right, so my list.
We'll just make it up on the spot with some sarcasm.
Hey, what's that?
Sarcasm.
I had my headphones on. Sarcasm, got it. Sarcasm, full my list. Sarcasm. All right. Thursday's 13. It's like I said at the beginning, it's vacation time for a lot of people, getting ready to get out there in the hot world instead of sitting at your air-conditioned office or whatever you do for a living. And you probably want to go somewhere really nice, and while you're laying there in your bed and you're going, boy, I'm paying really nice for this hotel and I get to sleep all the time. Realize there's people out there that take a vacation, and for them, the expense of vacations is not even a thing, right? They don't even think about it. It's an afterthought. And for a lot of it's probably a tax write-off. So those people vacation in places we can't afford. In fact, we couldn't afford them if we saved our nickels and dimes for 20 years just for one night. So let's talk about you could pay for. This is our list. You could pay for blank, or you could spend one night in this hotel. There we go. And I only got to 10, but you can probably get your own list ready for the last 3 or 4 if you want. Just think of what you could buy for $20,000. That's the bottom of the list, $20,000, by the way, towards the bottom. Number 1 is the Lover's Deep Luxury Submarine in St. Lucia. Now, you want to go in a hotel and you end up underwater? Yeah, that's what you're doing. That costs $150,000 per night. Let's describe it for you.
Wow.
Yeah. $150,000 per night. How many? Let's give an example of what you could do that money instead. How many homes would $150,000 build in Malawi, Africa? With a $150,000 budget, you can build between 3 to 7 standard 3-bedroom homes, or roughly 15 to 20 basic rural homes, providing shelter and protection for 20 families. Or you could spend one night in a hotel. Yeah, up to you. That's that. And again, let's describe this baby. This is your hotel. It's called. Well, let's see. Let's got it here. What makes it so special? I did click on it. Why is it not coming up? Okay, there we go. Lover's Leap Luxury Submarine, $150,000 per night. Unique features, dubbed the most expensive hotel in the world, the Submarine Office underwater experience with panoramic views of marine life. Guest supply. Guests enjoy private captain. Private captain. What does a private captain do for you? I don't even know what that means. A private chef, a butler, and custom itineraries tailored to their preferences. I'm paying $150,000 to be on an itinerary? Wow, that seems like a ripoff. Number 12, number 2, I guess we go. Number two. This is the ironically titled the Empathy Suite. And that is in Palm Resort, Las Vegas. The Empathy Suite. Yes, what do you get for the Empathy Suite? For $100,000 a night, what do you get? You get unique features. The Damien Hurst designed suite features 2 master bedrooms, a private relaxation room, an infinity pool. What the hell's an infinity pool? Overlooking the Vegas Strip, and art collection and worth millions.
I think infinity pools are just, aren't they just hot tubs? I'm pretty sure they're just hot tubs.
The picture of it looks like it's just a long pool, like a long.
Well, I guess that's why it's called that then.
Around your apartment or something, like it's laps around your whatever, man. It's way overpriced, $100,000. And what will $100,000 get you in this world? Let's see. How many school desks could be provided to poor children in Africa with $100,000? What do you think the answer to that would be? 1,500 desks for school children, or you could just spend a night in a hotel where you're going to spend most of it sleeping or jerking off. So, yay!
Definitely not in the infinity pool.
Yeah, don't jerk off. Why not? You're spending the money. Jerk off wherever you want to. I don't know. But again, you could be helping children, or you could be just indulging yourself in stupid things that don't accomplish a damn thing. Number 3 in our list of debauchery, the 0.001% engages in. This one's in Geneva, one of your spanking rich places. Hotel President Wilson. They had to go and name it after a populist president. That's weird, right? That's even worse than calling it the Embassy Suite. I'm a populist. Now get in my really expensive hotel room. The Wilson. Yeah, the President Wilson room. That will cost you a slick $80K. That's right. It will cost you $80K for one night. They're getting cheaper, but $80K is still a lot of damn money. This one is on Lake Geneva. I can see it clearly. We've been there, so we've been by it anyway. Unique features: the Royal Penthouse Suite occupies the entire top floor with 12 bedrooms. Right, you need to rent this with friends. If you got 12 bedrooms, you get 12 families. So that would probably be a good deal once you divide it up. Bulletproof glass. Bulletproof glass just means there's probably freaking dignitaries staying there. A Steinway grand piano, hard to steal one of those, and stunning views of Lake Geneva. Is there any views of Lake Geneva that aren't stunning? Right? You have an average view of Lake Geneva. Nobody ever says their view is average. We have an average view. Anyway, the hotel president's $80K a night. You could stay there, or you could feed 14 children for a year. Up to you. 14 children, $15 a day. You could feed 14 children for 365 days, or stay in your little hotel with, it's got 12 bedrooms. There you go. Maybe you can have them 14 children staying in 12 bedrooms for that one night. It's just one night, guys. You don't get to live there. You don't get to take nothing home. You don't get nothing of any intrinsic value. You get sleep. You get sleep. You can sleep. The guy in the park bench probably got more sleep than you, perhaps. Right? So that is what you could be doing with the money. Number 4, the Atlantis Royal, one of your more indulgent countries with way too much money, Dubai. Dubai, again, is one of your United Arab Emirates. They just don't have any human rights and way too much money. And one night in their hotel in Dubai, and let's talk about it. The Atlantis Royal in Dubai, $75,000 a night. The Sky Pool penthouse includes a private infinity pool, sunken lounge, access to the Michelin-starred dining. So, hey, access. It doesn't say it gives you anything for free.
At this point, infinity pool is just like a buzzword. Like, it doesn't mean anything anymore.
Yeah, it's an infinity pool. And what would that 75K you're spending on that infinity pool, what would that do? What could you do with that? You could pay college tuition for 1 year for 7 students. Yes, you put 7 students in 1 year of college, or you can swim in your infinity pool until you get bored and then zone out on fucking Netflix, just what you do at home, and go to sleep just like you do at home. So yeah, or you can go eat at that Michelin restaurant that's going to overcharge you too. But you don't care, you're filthy rich, and you'd rather just spend it on your own indulgence than helping anyone else in the entire world, only yourself and your selfish fat faces. Not that I dislike rich people, I just don't see any use for them. They don't serve any purpose. Opulence is not a purpose, it's just not. Number 5 is the Mark Hotel in New York. We're in New York now. We're in the United States, starting to peek its ugly head as we act like our real estate is special and it ain't. This is New York City, of course, which is, oh my God, they're building on it. Everything costs too much. The unique features of the Mark Hotel, it's $75K per night. The penthouse suite features 5 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, in case, you know, everybody's got diarrhea, right? You need 6 bathrooms. Tell me why you need 6 bathrooms. Just curious. A library and 2,500 square foot, a library. That's funny. You can steal the books. I guess you could just pack the books in your luggage. I don't know if they inventory them. A 2,500 square foot rooftop terrace and a special. It's located in Manhattan's prestigious Upper East Side. It has nothing really special. It's a hotel room. That's about it. It's a big hotel room. It's a penthouse, and it's in New York City. That's the only reason it's expensive. Rooftop terrace. Ooh. Yeah, you could just get on a fire escape. You had the same effect as a rooftop terrace. So that's your next one. For $75,000, again, we're going to do this little comparison. You know, did you know for $75K, you could rent Rick Springfield, singer Rick Springfield, for one concert? You could do that. Have a concert, make some money, by the way, because you get to charge for the seats. You hired Rick Springfield. I'm not including the rental hall, but you can make a deal with the hall to give them a percentage of ticket sales, right? So you can rent the hall, hire Rick Springfield, $75K. That's what you can do. That's not doing good for anybody. It's just another way you could spend that money that was a lot more entertaining than just going, oh boy, I'm in an infinity pool. I'm special. Our next one on the list is number 6. We go to India. The Raj Palace. Oh, you're staying at a palace. I suppose it better be expensive. I mean, come on, it's a palace. And that is in India. Jaipur, India, if you can see that. Jaipur, India. The Raj Palace. And that little puppy there is going to cost you, let's see, $65K. And we're talking about that Rick Springfield concert, right? Or whoever we're going to hire. That $65K could rent us a hall for 30 days. So I've put my $65K on my hall. I've rent this Rick Springfield for one night. I make so much money in that Rick Springfield concert. I'm already in the black. I've already made money. And what's at the Raj Palace? What are the special features? I hope they have an infinity pool. Otherwise, I don't care. The Maharaja Pavilion is a 4-story suite with a private museum, crystal chandeliers, again, that does nothing for me, and gold-plated dining room, again, does nothing for me. Again, you're just throwing money, good money after bad, to sleep in a hotel. Number 7, we're halfway through the list. The Lukala Island Resort in Fiji. It's a very poor country as far as the citizens are concerned. It's probably, they don't need a lot of heat or anything like that because it's a tropical place. But Fiji, that sucker is going to cost you $60,000 a night. And unique features, a hilltop villa features panoramic views, private chat, chauffeur, and a nanny. Yeah, if you got kids, you got somebody to watch your kids. Rat on them. Why it's special? The eco luxury. It's eco luxury, they say. Retreat is perfect for those Seeking exclusivity with a touch of nature. Yeah, it's very outdoorsy, very green. They got a pool. I don't think it's an infinity pool, though. That is in Fiji. And what could you do with that money from Fiji? What could you do if you lived in Fiji? Well, let's see. For 50K or 60K, was it 60 or 50? I think it was 60. Yeah, 60K. You could hire, let's see, for 60K. Yes. 60K is about 8 citizens of Fiji's annual income. Right. So yeah, they make about 6K or 6,000 a year. So yeah. So there we are. That's about 8 citizens' annual income, or stay in a hotel for one night. Just one night. This isn't anything freaking special. I've been in hotels. Usually I'm so exhausted all I can do is sleep. Right? That's all that happens. This is a very, very well-known hotel. This one here is the Four Seasons in New York. That is number 8. The Four Seasons in New York, their best hotel room is $50,000 per night. Yes. Nothing special. The Ty Warner penthouse boasts a 360-degree views of Manhattan. Yeah, it's the very top of the building, right? You can look at all the windows. A spa room, a private chauffeured Rolls Royce. Oh, wow. I don't know why I buy in a big ass
they just add so many things to this. Okay. Yeah.
There's nowhere to go in New York. Even if you're in a Rolls Royce, where are you going? You're just gonna sit in traffic. They don't have a special lane for Rolls Royces. You're just gonna sit there, honk, 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 whatever. Or if you don't want to stay there, you could take that 50 grand and you could do something like hiring a full-time driver, right? Oh, forget the Rolls Royce, forget all this stuff. I got a car. I need a driver. And you can pay his taxes and all that stuff. 50K full-time driver. Hell yeah. Right? That's what I'm talking about. Let's take care of me. Our next one is a Hotel di Cala de Volpe in Sardinia, Italy. We're getting to the bottom of this. Don't worry, it's at 9. We only got 4 more left. That's in Sardinia, Italy. It's 41K per night. 41K will buy you what? Unique features. The presidential suite offers a private rooftop. They love the private rooftops. Great place to jump, I guess. I don't know. Hey, rich people, you're not making enough money. You're a failure. Jump. I don't know. Three bedrooms and a wine cellar. Oh, you can drink enough wine to make up for that money you just threw down the hall. Why it's special? Its Mediterranean charm and elegance make it a celebrity favorite. Oh, you might bump elbows to a celebrity who will ignore you and maybe call the cops on you. But anyway, there's that. Or 41K, you could buy a nice electric car. Yeah, that's right. Get yourself an electric car. You can do that. Or you can stay one night in this hotel where you will not make any memories whatsoever. You'll just be, oh my God, I stayed at that really expensive place. What was it like? I don't know. I slept 10 hours. The Ritz-Carlton, Tokyo, Japan. We're going to Japan. Back to the Far East. The Ritz-Carlton. The Ritz, of course, got a name like Ritz-Carlton. It ain't cheap. But this one's 24K a night. 24K a night. Yeah, that's our number 10. Yeah, 25K a night. 25K will get you the presidential suite, traditional Japanese aesthetics, state-of-the-art technology, breathtaking, basically nothing.
State-of-the-art technology. Here's some buzzwords, bro.
It's basically the presidential suite and you're in Tokyo. That's why you're paying so much. And that's the only reason. There's nothing special about this room at all. Not a damn thing. State-of-the-art technology. Whoop-de-fucking-do. I get that at the Motel 6. Breathtaking views of Mount Fuji. Breathtaking. Oh, shit, I can't breathe. Anyway. Or, if you're in Tokyo, 25K will buy you 4 or 5 first-class round trips to New York City. That seems like more fun than staying in a hotel, and it'll take just about as long, right?
Mm-hmm.
It'll take just as long, 24 hours. And again, when you're flying from Japan to New York, you gain a day. You gain an entire day. And then when you go back, you lose a day. But that's the deal. That's the deal you make. Number 11, and I did not do any cost comparisons on the last 3, so I'll just rip through them real quick. Number 11 is the Palms in the Maldives. And the Palms at $20,000 per night. And what does 20,000 get you? 20,000 for one hotel. Again, this is not Ike's. This is a very, 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 very rustic.
You better open
setting.
up on the beach.
Oh, it's past the beach. It's on the water. These overwater villas feature glass floors, infinity pools. You're over the Caribbean Ocean, I believe. Is it Caribbean?
Yeah, what's this? I think, like I said, what is an infinity pool? Just something so they can add a price tag.
Yeah.
The private pool, I guess.
Lagoon access. This why it's special, the serene surrounding and unparalleled service makes it a dreams destination.
Oh boy, a
I'll leave it
lagoon.
to your imagination. I'll leave it to your imagination on what a $20,000 will buy you, which is going to be very close to what $19,000 could buy you, because that's our next one, is the one and only Gorilla's Nest. Yeah, you can stay in Gorilla Land in Rwanda. Wow, that's a poor country. I wonder what houses cost.
That is how you get back money from colonizers right there.
That's right. Gorilla, I can imagine the special features. It's way out in the jungle, nestled in the full hills of Virunga Mountains. This luxury retreat offers panoramic views of lush jungles and volcanic peaks. The hotel provides private nature treks to endangered gorillas. Gorillas don't want to see you. I don't think they really want you when they're in their deal, right? Just think of gorillas as you and me. They ain't that much different. They just can't communicate like you. Anyway, tailored dining experiences. Why it's special, the exclusive sanctuary combines adventure and luxury, making a bucket list destination for naked lovers, nature lovers. Nature lovers should be naked, right? That's nature. Number 13. We're at number 13. The final one is in France, and it's one of these ones that you cover quite a bit, a city you report on a couple of times a year, the Cannes, France, where the film festival's held. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's the penthouse suite at the Hotel Martinez in Cannes. $18,000 per night, $18,000. You could buy yourself a hatchback, or you could stay one night in this hotel in Cannes, overlooking the French Riviera, which is I decided to call it. The suite features Art Deco interiors. That's a design type, not a guy's name. Been a guy's name, I don't know. Hi, my name's Art Deco.
I'm Art Deco guy. I don't know. Don't ask me. I don't know anything about it.
I love how they act like the created art is sort of come home with you somehow. Oh, look, there's a picture of it. I could find a picture of it. Anyway, access to the hotel's private beach. I imagine. Here's what happens to me on the private beach hotel things. I've had this before. I got a private beach. Oh, wait, it's not private. It's public. Anyway, it also includes direct access to the hotel's private beach and hotel's dining and 2 Michelin-starred restaurants. Again, if you're in a foreign country, they got rules. You don't know what they are. You can say it's a private beach, but they got a different idea what a private beach means. So anyway, there's your down and dirty list of all of the 13th most expensive hotels in the world to spend your Memorial Day in the United States, or whatever holiday you got. Most European countries have those bank holidays or them monthly holidays. We've already had
spring break here, so spring break is at the beginning of, or the end of April, beginning of May. So.
Well, if you're in England, you have a monthly bank holiday.
On the 25th is Pentecost, religious holiday. So.
That means it's on well, whatever. Everybody takes their vacation this summer, for the most part, I would say.
Most Europeans take their vacation in August.
Get the hell out of off. Right, and they go to Disney World, right? They'll go to Disney World. Those expenses are hotel, but Disney World. I'm just saying that because most Europeans that I've met that have only been to the United States once, right? And this is a very small select group, but I've met probably about 15, 20 Europeans that have only been to the United States once, and guess where they all went to? The only place they went to? Orlando, Florida. I was like, that has nothing to do with the rest of the United States. You have no idea about the rest of the United States from Orlando, Florida. That is white trash central, folks. Sorry. Anyway, I mean, Florida's white trash central. It just is. It's just, I don't have to work. I can live at the beach. Sorry. That's my little down and dirty, way too long list of things I came up with last night in my fever dream. So there you go. Let's have
I'm
us.
sure all that money is going to the workers who clean those hotel rooms too.
Oh yeah, all that opulence.
All those housekeepers are making $2,000 a room. I'm sure every time they clean it.
Right.
And they get tips.
Yeah,
I'm sure the rich people tip them too. As everyone knows, rich people are famous for tipping. Famous for doing that. This is my sarcasm.
Maybe I'll make a list of the. Right on. I did the applause. Maybe I'll make a list of world's most notorious cheat tippers, like people that, you know, like oodles of money compared to everybody else, especially the person that's serving them, and they don't
left
tip.
$1. Yeah.
Yeah, or they don't tip at all. You know, it's like, wow. Aren't we entitled to just everything that everybody's, you know, free labor from every other people and shit? They just tell me my glass was there, man. All right, then, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. No.
Okay.
Good. And good. All right, so I can close everything I have open now.
Except for your National Day calendars.
Yeah. All right. And Jeffrey Dahmer's birthday. Don't forget that. Ooh.
Oh, great.
Oh, man. Yeah, I'm just saying. It's just sad.
All right, time for you to give me a bad pun or my culture news.
Right.
The story is coming off of, well, the US, because it is the final episode of The Late Show with Colbert. And Your News Culture has provided everything we need to know about it. Will be happening, I believe, at 11 p.m. Eastern Time and then 5 a.m. Central European Time. So, in case you want to know what time it is. This is from David Morquant. This Thursday, or today I should say, marks the end of an era for The Late Show, a beloved U.S. cultural touchstone which is about to disappear. Here's everything you need to know about the final episode, the guests, the reasons behind CBS pulling the plug, and what could be next for Stephen Colbert. More than a decade of late-night history ends this week, with Stephen Colbert's tenure as the host of the U.S. show The Late Show coming to an end this Thursday. Or today, I should say, the 21st of May. As a reminder, The Late Show has been CBS's flagship late-night talk show for many years. It first aired in 1993 with David Letterman hosting. Colbert joined the show in 2015 and stood out for his wit, charm, and hugely popular political monologue skewering the Trump administration. So he's been making fun of Trump since before he was president the first time. Colbert's 11th year run ends today on the 21st of May, and he'll leave the late night landscape significantly poorer. Here's everything you need to know about this last Raw, as well as the reasons behind the cancellation of The Late Show. The show finale will have an extended runtime, and a last lineup of guests is being kept secret. The last few guests this week have included Jon Stewart, Steven Spielberg, and David Byrne. And we do know that tonight's penultimate show, or I should say yesterday night's penultimate show, included a performance from rock legend Bruce Springsteen, as well as a final and beloved recurring segment, the Colbert Questionnaire. This time, it'll be Colbert who answers the famous 15 questions, so viewers will finally get to know what number he's been thinking of. Fellow talk show host Jimmy Kimmel.
You don't pronounce the T. It's questionnaire. Okay. There's no T. It's not pronounced. It's like play on his name. Anyway, sorry.
Fellow talk show host Jimmy Kimmel, Seth Meyers, John Oliver, and Jimmy Fallon joined Colbert on his show last week for a reunion of the Strike Force 5, the group they previously formed to support and pay their riders during the 2023 Writers Guild of America strike. During the interview they agreed to present during Colbert's last show, They also voiced their discontent towards the decision to cancel the show. "I'm waiting for Angry Steven to come out," Kimmel said during the group interview. "I want to see you go nuts." Kimmel and Fallon also announced they will go dark on Thursday, with ABC and NBC airing reruns in honor of Colbert's swan song. In an interview with The Hollywood Reporter, Colbert revealed there's still one famous person he hoped to interview before the show ends. "The Pope is my white whale," Colbert said, referring to Pope Leo XIV. "I wrote him. I said, 'Come on.' No, I said, 'Your Holiness, I hope this letter finds you well, or at the very least infallible. Will you please come on my show? We don't have to talk about politics.'" Could Colbert get his wish? Only 2 days today. It's today to find out. It's not only Colbert's retiring, but the whole franchise coming to an end. In July, CBS announced The Late Show would conclude its 33-year run. They're canceling the whole thing. The network insisted that it's a decision to pull the plug was purely a financial one, and that it wasn't related in any way to the show's performance, content, or other matters happening at Paramount. Cue laughter, as no one bought that excuse. Many pointed to possible pressures by the Trump administration, considering Colbert has never shied from parodying, criticizing, and exposing Trump as a con man. There's also the timing of the announcement, which coincided with Colbert slamming CBS corporate parent Paramount Global for agreeing to pay $16 million to Trump over an interview with former Vice President Kamala Harris that aired on 60 Minutes. Colbert called Paramount's settlement a big fat bribe. Both The Late Show and 60 Minutes are CBS shows. At the time, Paramount was finalizing a multi-billion dollar mega merger with Skydance, which required approval from the Trump administration. Hey, here's a $60 million bribe! Sherlock Holmes could join the dots in a coma. At the fact that Trump has never hidden his dislike for Colbert and the show, as well as any show or host who dares to exercise their First Amendment right to criticize him, and the financial explanation seems even weaker. Trump even celebrated the news on his Truth Social platform, gloating, "I absolutely love that Colbert got fired." He added that Colbert's talent was even less than his ratings. Note, fired, not cancelled. Colbert clapped back on camera. "How dare you, sir? What an untalented man to be able to compose the following satirical witticism." Turning face to another camera, which featured a tag that read "Eloquence Cam," "Go fuck yourself." Explaining the cancellation of the show, Letterman told the New York Times, "It was dumb because the people selling the network to Skydance said, 'Oh no, there's not going to be any trouble with that guy. We're going to take care of the show. We're just going to throw that into the deal. When will the ink on the check dry? I'm just going to go on record and saying they're lying.'" He concluded, referring to CBS's reasoning for canceling the show, "Let me just add one thing. They're lying weasels." CBS announced last month that The Late Show time slot will be filled with a show titled Comics Unleashed by Byron Allen. Good luck with that. The roundtable series featuring Allen alongside 4 comedians who share stories, tell jokes, and bring the biggest laughter to television currently airs on CBS immediately after The Late Show, so they're just giving them the time slot. Colbert, even the gentleman, reacted to the news of his replacement.
The time slot. Byron Allen is paying CBS to be on there. That's how they work that deal. So they're not going to lose money. Sorry, go ahead.
Colbert, ever the gentleman, reacted to the news of his replacement in an interview with The Hollywood Reporter, saying, "God bless him." Earlier this year, Colbert, who is a huge J.R.R. Tolkien fan, announced that he will write a new Lord of the Rings movie with his screenwriter's son, Peter McGee, and Philippa Boyens. As Deadline reported in March, Colbert will co-write the tentatively titled The Lord of the Rings Shadow of the Past, which will be directed by Peter Jackson. The next film in the series, Lord of the Rings The Hunt for Gollum, directed by Andy Serkis, is due on the 17th of December 27. Beyond scripting, many are hoping that Colbert will run for office. In a recent sit-down interview with Barack Obama, of all people, Colbert shared that "A lot of people tell me I should run for president." "Well, you certainly have the look," Obama replied, "and you have the hair." Which is funny because Obama is basically bald. "For the record, I think it's a stupid idea," Colbert continued. "How dumb do you think it is for people to say I should run for president?" "The bar has changed," Obama said. He continued without mentioning Trump's name. "Put it this way. I think you could perform significantly better than some folks that we've seen. I have great confidence in that." President Colbert, well, he has never caved to Trump, so he's got a backbone. And he does have the hair. Stranger things have happened. The later show will conclude its run on Thursday, May 21st, 11:35 p.m. at U.S. Eastern Time. or 5:35 a.m. Central European Time. Farewell and thank you, Stephen. Good luck to Seth, John, and the two Jimmies. From David Morquand, anyways.
Basically, CBS will be signing off instead, right? There's not even going to be a network
whatever.
after that.
Why are TV channels still exist? I don't know. I've moved on from it 10 years ago, maybe even 15 years ago.
They are not giving. I sorry to interrupt you. They are not giving this slot to Byron Allen. Byron Allen is paying $150 million per year for this time slot and selling his own commercial time. CBS has nothing to do with it at all. They're just making money on that time slot. And Byron Allen, it might even be a good show, right? It's just young comedians that deserve to be heard, but I'm not watching it. I'm never watching it. But that's just me. Byron Allen, probably the most successful stand-up comedian you've never heard of, because he was never really that funny, but he's very, very rich. A black comedian got very rich. A black comedian who got very, very rich without even being that funny. Byron Allen. Talk show. He became a talk show maven. That's the way to do it. Produce the talk shows. Very smart business sense, and he can afford to just throw $150 million at CBS. That's something. Anyway, that's my sarcasm. My bad pun is gonna say. My bad pun is say. I cannot. Let's see. I cannot bear any more of this government interference. I cannot bear any more of this government interference, because Jesus, just why this government in our entertainment? The government has no business in our entertainment. They have no business in our sports. The only business they have interest in our sports is where they give an trusting to, like the NFL. Mm-hmm. But they need to stay out of this shit. They need to stay out of it completely. This is the worst time in American history for a lot of reasons. We should be smarter than this. Well, I can spin the wheel, and then we'll do in this day in history. And we'll commemorate all the serial killers.
Tell a joke.
Yeah, broken. Jokes. We got them yokes. This is very... On the heels of a comedian, we have a joke. And we're going back in history. Let's make sure we got the right day. May 21st, 1542. Spanish explorer and conquistador Hernando de Soto, the first European to discover the Mississippi River, died and was buried in the river in Louisiana. Oh, he's probably down in the Delta by now, right? Or maybe out in the Gulf, right? How do you bury somebody in a river?
Ate by a catfish,
rivers stop moving.
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, Catfish de Soto, they call it. The first catfish example. 1844, French painter Henri Rousseau, the archetype of a modern naive artist. I'm a naive artist, something to brag about. Known for his richly colored and meticulously detailed pictures of lush jungles and wild beasts and exotic figures. He was born this day in Laval, which I believe has to be in France, since he's French. 1856, during the small civil war known as the Bleeding Kansas, a dispute over control of the new U.S. territory of Kansas, under the doctrine of popular sovereignty, the town of Lawrence was sacked by pro-slavery mob intent on destroying the hotbed of abolition. Pro-slavery mob, what a thing to be. What a bunch of shitheads. What the fuck is wrong with you? First of all, you're pro-slavery? Fuck you. 1871, the Commune of Paris, sorry about that, the Commune of Paris revolted against the French national government under Adolphe Thiers, beginning a period of violence known as the Bloody Week. Not exactly a great day. We had Bleeding Kansas start on this day. We had Bleeding Week, Bloody Week, about 15 years later in Paris. What else horrible happened in this day? Clara Barton founded the American Association of the Red Cross, later known as the American Red Cross. Red Cross, symbol of hospitals, hospitaliers, the Knights Templars, right? 1921, Soviet nuclear theoretical physicist and human rights advocate Andrei Sakharov was born in Moscow. He was won the 1975 Nobel Prize for Peace, which means he was probably locked up somewhere in Siberia. 1927, Charles Lindbergh completed the first nonstop solo flight across the Atlantic Ocean, traveling from New York to Paris in the monoplane Spirit of St. Louis in about 33.5 hours. Of course, Charles Lindbergh was played in the movie by Jimmy Stewart, who we commemorated yesterday, his birthday. What a quinky dink. What a quinky dink. His birthday
Indeed.
is the same day before the Lindbergh flight, and he played Lindbergh in the movie. And other nonstop cross-Atlantic flight news on this day in 1932. 5 years later, American aviator Amelia Earhart became the first woman to pilot an airplane solo across the Atlantic. And as far as we know, she has never been found. One of her solos, she was trying to fly across the world and was never found. 1972, Michelangelo's Pieta sculpture depicting Michelangelo's Pieta, a sculpture depicting the Virgin Mary supporting the body of the dead Christ, was attacked and badly damaged in St. Peter's Basilica, Vatican City. I'm sure a statue can survive that, right? You just repair it. It's a statue. Yeah, a statue got attacked. Stop attaching art, idiots. 1991, I stopped attacking and attaching, for that matter. 1991, Indian politician Rajiv Gandhi was assassinated in a suicide bombing attack. He was the prime minister from 84 to 89, so he wasn't even prime minister anymore when he was assassinated. Is it an assassination if you're no longer in office, or is it just murder? Maybe he was running for something. In 2000, British author Dame Barbara Cartland, who wrote more than 700 books, mostly formulatic novels of romantic love set in the 19th century. Yes. Anyway, she died at the age of 98. She was a dame, which means she was knighted at some point, right? She died at the age of 98 in this day in 2000. 2019, after years of declining attendance, and due in part to the animal rights protest, the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus gave what it said would be its final performance. However, in 2023, the circus returned without the animals. No animals, no, we're not torturing elephants anymore. Leave us be. We're just a circus. We're a bunch of clowns. Our featured event on this day, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, America's first horror movie on this day, 1908. Some lucky audience members of Chicago watched the first horror movie in American history. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, the adaptation of Robert Louis Stevenson's 1988 novella, was advertised as thrilling and marvelous. Because no copies of the film are known to survive, modern audience can only imagine whether it lived up to the hype. No sound, of course, it was 1908. Barely had film. Feature biography is Malcolm Fraser, Prime Minister of Australia. He's the Prime Minister of Australia. He was born in Melbourne in 1930, May 21st. First. May, how do you say first in Australia? May 21st, first. I don't know how to say it, man. Died on March 20th, 2015 at age 84. Other birthdays today. Philip II, King of Spain and Portugal, 1527 is his birthday. American musician, 1904. American U.S. Senator, comedian, writer. Once the head writer, went from head writer at Saturday Night Live to becoming a United States Senator. Al Franken was born in 1951. He's turning 75 today. Happy birthday to Al Franken. Loretta Lynch, American lawyer and official, was an Obama administration official, born in 1959. And Jeffrey Dahmer, happy 66 to Jeffrey. He's not around anymore. But
Yay, he's dead.
66 candles on his cake.
What's the phrase? What's the phrase to say? Something your mom should have swallowed, or something.
Oh.
There's your
Yeah,
joke.
Jeffrey Dahmer. We can go back. Just a human, just a piece of shit. Just an all-around terrible human being. Parents dropped them on his head or something. I don't know. And the national days today. It's Thursday, May 21st. That means it's National Strawberries and Cream Day, National Wait Staff Day. Oh boy, be nice to your waiters. We're talking about cheap tippers. God damn, those people work from peanuts in the United States. Other places, I know it's a real job where you get real wages. Not in the United States, for some stupid reason, money's important unless you're a worker. And then it's like, can't you get by without money? Don't you? You need to be more save your money. That's how rich people think about poor people. You just need to save your money. It's your fault you're poor. National Memo Day. National American Red Cross Founders Day, as we talked about. Who did we talk about? Clara Barton. And that's it. That's it for today. Other than it's still National Public Works Week. You know, appreciate the people that keep our water flowing and our sewers going, so forth. Garbage
Thanks,
collection.
guys, for keeping
All
everything
that stuff
cleared
for
up.
Appreciation Day. Your list, we haven't had any haikus or limericks today, but we did have lyric headlines, everything, your mispronunciations, your bad
Puns.
and your stories and your list for everything, your puns. Thursday, May 21st, 2026, on Before Strawberries and Cream. Yummy. Yum, yum, yum.
Strawberry.
Yum.
It's crazy. I didn't even know it was that day because I
Yeah.
just had Greek yogurt and strawberries, which is basically cream. Really, if you think about it,
That's
Greek
right.
yogurt, cream, same thing.
Yeah, it's cultured. Some cream, a lot of it's low in
Cultured.
fat, but yeah.
No,
I mean,
not
it's
this
low in
stuff.
fat. It can't be cream, right?
It's not low in fat,
Oh,
this
okay.
stuff. Otherwise, it would taste like nothing.
That's your joke?
Anyways,
That's your
our
joke?
joke is, why was Dr. Jekyll banned from South Africa?
Hey, he was too ugly.
Because he was apartheid.
Oh! He was apartheid.
Yeah.
Apartheid. Got it.
A customer comes into the diner. Waiter, I'm in a hurry. Will the pancakes be long? The waiter replies, no, sir. Round.
Oh, God.
Nobody has long pancakes. Who makes them that way? They're always round. That's why they're pancakes. We got no hot dog cakes.
Right.
All right, there's your jokes
All right.
for our segue.
Yes, we have no.
There are 2 days for our international observances. The first one is International Tea Day. Tip Chip Cheerio, celebrate tea, which has been used for many different things, including there's a whole economy based off of it. I'm sure there's a huge GDP that people make from it. I don't really care about talking about that, but tea, protect tea,
Right.
continue tea, and make sure your tea
words.
is fair trade tea, as in there aren't slaves being used to make the tea or get the tea or pick the tea, okay? Fair
Okay.
trade, made by workers who are
Unless
paid a
they're well
wage
paid.
for their work. Yes. It's also
don't
World Day
forget
of
all the
Cultural
words that
Diversity
start
for
with T.
Dialogue in Development. So let's protect the diversity of culture. Let's not try to whiteize everything. You know, that's kind of the negative thing of white culture is that you're like, oh, I'm no longer Irish. I'm just a white guy. So protect your diversity,
Yeah.
your cultural expressions, whether it be what were we talking about again? The Irish holiday they're celebrating in the UK, right? You can celebrate that in Boston if you want. I know Irish isn't a good
Right.
example because Irish people are very vocally Germans. When's the last time you celebrated yourself for being German? When's the last time you, I don't know, drink some beer? And I guess Oktoberfest is a German thing.
The last time I had sauerkraut. That was last time. Yeah.
It's been a while, actually. Good point. I think there's some sauerkraut in the fridge. So celebrate your cultural diversity, whether it be food, dance, I don't know, cultural expressions, whatever that means, all of those things. This has been Alison here from
Liberty
the Netherlands. And Roger from the East Coast of the
Liberty
US as
Cabbage.
we finish off another Thursdays 13. I hope you enjoyed our list of places that you probably will never be able to afford to visit. Maybe you can go outside the hotel and
yeah.
wave at it. Oh, look, an expensive room I'll never see the inside of.
Don't go there. My point is, don't ever go there. What the hell's the point? You're just going to sleep through most of it and spend a lot of it in the bathroom.
Don't spend your money on expensive hotel rooms.
Stupid like that.
And we will see you tomorrow for our Friday's news dump, in which we are going to tell you all the news stories you need to hear before the weekend, so you do not have to worry about it. If you're not already following us on Twitch on Before Coffee Podcast or YouTube, same name, then please do that and turn those notifications on so you know when we go live and post a video. I appreciate all of our Patreon supporters, the Before Coffee supporters, and here is our mic drop moment.
Spring signals graduation season and commencement speech time, but one phrase proving wildly unpopular.
The rise of artificial intelligence
It's bad.
the next industrial revolution.
No!
She thinks she's telling them good news, right?
From
She
a
thinks
tech
they're all
business
pleased with that.
executive
Nope,
to
we're
a
not.
music industry titan, AI clearly striking a sore spot.
AI is rewriting production.
This guy's an asshole.
Yeah, as
I just
in
want to
making
make
us
sure
into
I never buy
slaves.
anything from his record.
At the University of Arizona, former Google CEO Eric Schmidt faced loud
This asshole.
These are
jeers.
all
Schmidt.
tech
Google.
bros.
Is whether you will help shape
Yep.
artificial intelligence.
Google, right?
We definitely will, because it's stealing all our shit.
The speaker choice was controversial from the get-go. Some students launching a petition to replace Schmidt in part because he's been accused of rape and sexual assault by a former girlfriend in
great.
a lawsuit currently under
A
arbitration.
great person
NBC News
to
has
have
reached out
speeches
to Schmidt for
from.
comment, but have not heard back. But he has
Okay, what
denied
are they
the
gonna
allegations
say?
in the past.
AI is going to touch everything else as well. Whatever path you
It's like
choose,
you
Speaking of
touch other
touching
people.
everything.
will become part of
Yeah.
He likes to
Comes
touch
artificial
things.
intelligence
Speaking
and
of
Gen
not
Z,
having
more than
consent to
half
steal
say
all
they
our
use it
art,
regularly,
here's-
according to a recent
Why
survey.
would they ask for
But
consent? They don't even
a
know
third say
the
the tech
idea
makes
of
them
it.
feel angry, and nearly half say the risks
Makes me
of
feel
AI
hopeless in
the
life.
workplace outweigh the benefits.
Oh,
If you
great!
let
Life
me
is
make
going to
this
be
point,
empty
please.
and and just
Workforce
gray and
wary of
boring
what lies
because
ahead.
don't worry, the
Valerie
computer
Castro,
will tell us how to
NBC
feel.
News.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories.
Yeah,
on
stay
the NBC
updated.
News app, or watch live on our YouTube
Stay
channel.
updated on AI taking over.
Be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and notify buttons. And follow our other channels, Toxic Alley, History of Gravy, and Scratchy Old Records.